top of the morning. Iki iki isikanasa shikiti safina nasa uwi uwi. We live. Let's breathe in some of that good prana. And exhale degradation, separation, and allegation. You know what I'm talking about? As you come in, take a breath of all of that. We live. Let's talk about it. Today is a beautiful day. Just today, because I don't know about tomorrow, or an hour from now. I am an angel. You know what I'm talking about? Things change in the blink of an eye. Blink, 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 blink. All right. So, y'all see anything interesting on your timeline? Because I did. Now I'm going to say welcome. Welcome all of you in. We are breathing. We are relaxing. We are sharing. Sharing is caring. You feel me? I'm almost prepared for my set. I want to talk about Puma. That is an interesting name. You mean fast like a puma or ferocious? I seen her. She is gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. She looks like her mother through and through. Miss Erykah Badu. Daughter. Now, whoever presented this short, I know who it is, so don't play with me. Presented it very well, okay? Because he did that for 6 eras. 6 eras of influence. When I seen those pants, a jumpsuit that Erykah Badu had on, I said, who is that? And I seen her name and I said, wait a minute, what's going on here? Now, for those that are saying, does she know who Summer Walker is? I do. I've listened to maybe a few of Mrs. Walker's music. And I gravitated towards one song. Now, I know that this is like a Billboard Awards or something like that. She did look absolutely stunning. But what took me by surprise, greeting Van Glorious, was her approach. Did you see that little tap on the behind? That's why I love Badu, Badu, Badu. I imagine when she got that tap, there was a electric current running through her thighs. Because that is how magical Miss Badu is. I am a Badu fan, okay? If I were to ever encounter Miss Erykah Badu, I would fan out like, oh my God, Erykah? I would say, can I just talk to you? Like 2 seconds. Her eyes will mesmerize you. Okay? I imagine in Erykah Badu's house, one of them, you would go into a time warp. You probably wouldn't want to leave. I would just be sitting there, breathing. The air must be really nice in Erykah Badu's home. I imagine it is heavenly. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when I seen that approach, I said, that is a statement that she is making. Do y'all understand that? Everything that she does is a statement. Now, it could be some speculation as to why she's doing it. But I say it's right on time. Right on time. Because we are supposed to love our bodies. How many of us don't love our bodies? You know, I said, I have a bruise that is going to last a lifetime. This bruise is not ever going to leave until I am gone. I did that last night when I looked. I said, this is not leaving. Some people have that type of skin when they get bruised, it does not leave. And one of the archangels said, that means you are a human being. You ever notice how some people will get bit by a flea or something, a mosquito, and their skin don't scar? It's like, wow, what are you? Now I'm going to talk about the filter. I said, oh, I like that, little bunny ears. I thought it was a headband at first, but I said, let's normalize pretty girls using dragon filters. That would be epic. Because I feel like Miss Erykah Badu's daughters are perfect to present something like that. Because they just have, like, her jeans. Like, not the jeans that she was wearing that went viral, but, like, DNA. You know, when you, like, do stuff like that, like, show your backside, they want to be you. And they're, like, probably like, is it soft? Is their behind soft? Usually behinds are soft when they're real. I'm just saying. Now, it's probably like 6 trillion gals saying, I want Erykah Badu's jeans. Do y'all think Erykah Badu is going to come out with like some jeans? Because I couldn't figure out, was Erykah Badu selling that ensemble or was she coming out like with some new jeans or was her daughter? But I did see a glimpse like of her walking away and it was like wobbly wobbly. And I was like, oh, that's real. Then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. Miss Badu has like a knockout body, so yeah, that's real. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Pumbaa is because she does not know that she's going through an ascension. I was just enjoying her live. And she says, when I laugh, it hurts in my mind. And instantly I'm like, here we go. It's time to work again. I want to inform all of you that when you go through that, that is a sign of ascension. When it happened to me 10 years ago, I thought something was wrong. It's like you're laughing, and the harder you laugh, the more painful it is. That is a sign of a pineal awakening. Just to let you know real quick, it also happens when you cough. So you all are aware that if that is happening to you, you are going through a pineal awakening. This is something that comes from the man upstairs. It happens gradually. Now, For those that feel like they're going to go follow her, she's protected. Everything that comes from Erykah Badu is protected. So you don't want to find out the hard way. I enjoyed watching her. Now, I said, because I gotta do this. Certain royal beings, when they have offspring, you kind of watch and you decide that you don't like the person that they are dating. So I'm saying in my mind, like, I'm gonna be a matchmaker. And one of the angels says, she's already been matched. Go figure. That is a blow right there. When you're like 20 something, 18, things of that sort, you feel like the person that you are with, you're going to be with for your whole life. And then you find out that that's a 20-year contract when you get older. Those type of relationships shape you. Everyone that is 30 and above know this is a fact. Because you're thinking, oh, I don't care. He or she is a little bit strange and unusual, but this is my one. So you think. You're willing to do everything for this person. You feel it inside like they don't really appreciate me. I know that I'm settling, but so what? I say that if you are a teen, you are in your early 20s, don't disfigure your body because you feel like you need to be accepted. For my era, we didn't have that option. It was out, but only the celebrities were doing it. It's very important for you all to understand that normal bodies are needed because that is how you influence nations. Nations. People respect you. If you say, oh, I got a flat behind, and you get up there and you showcase your stunning body with all what you feel is imperfections, then you do that because there is someone coming under you that is going to love themselves. It is important. If you feel like you need to lose weight, you do it the healthy way. Because there is someone coming after you that needs to know that it is okay to want to train your body. It's important. It's important. Don't you all agree that it's important to love your body? Now, if you were to get a reading done, I would tell you why you feel that way about your body. So you wouldn't be aiding on someone that you feel is gorgeous. We all say things like, for instance, I wish I had Erykah Badu's eyes. You don't know if she has any issues with her eyes. All you know is that they are breathtaking. We see others and then we want something that they have, or we want to be them. A lot of us. Which brings me back to that whole little live that I did where I talked about the one that feels like she is the prettiest, always believing that they should have been chosen. I look better than her. Why is he with her? She's fat. Da 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 da. Look at her hair. Look at her skin. You know, why did he pick her? I look better. He picked her because at that moment she brought him peace. Peace is valuable. You know, there's an energy associated with pretty girls that most men admire. But there's also an energy associated with pretty women that males can't stand. They secretly can't stand it. Some of them. They look at you and they say, she thinks she all that because she is light-skinned. She thinks she all that because she is model-esque. You're sitting there striving to be accepted by someone that is going to leave you. And then, all of a sudden, they leave. Your options are upgrade or 8. Not many say, he's not for me. They decide something is wrong with the way they look. I feel like Erica's whole life, Badu, is a movement. When I seen her after all of those years, I said, she has not aged one bit. Not one. When you see her daughters, you say, wow. She actually has grown children. I am in that era where at one point people couldn't tell that that was your daughter. They thought you were sisters. I talked about this before. When you are with your daughter that looks like your sister and males approach, for my era, they would come after me for whatever reason. And the daughter feels like, mama's old. Why you want my mama? You know, that's how they feel. There's an energy associated with that as well. Ahisekeni. At some point, someone wanted you to go against the grain. And when it didn't work on you, it trickled down to your offspring. Now, the ensemble that Erica walked out in was a statement piece. She's always doing it. Gosh, why does Erica always do stuff like that? Because she's a movement. Some say that have issues with themselves, they say things like, she is fat shaming. That's not what she's doing. That's not what I seen. When you instantly go to stuff like that, it is because you have issues with yourself. And it probably came from not being chosen. You know, the other day, I seen a Samoan woman that definitely had some crawl in her. And when I first seen her, I said, she's black. But it wasn't until I seen her husband that I realized that she was Samoan. When she got out of her car, it was a big old sun behind her. And I was looking because I'm like, when you see voluptuous women, you look, even if you're not interested in them. My era is the era that does that. We don't be interested in laying down with these women. We're like, oh, they're beautiful. And so, I was looking in my rearview mirror, and it was like wobbly, wobbly. And then I said, she a big, fine woman, wants to back that thing up. But her husband was not with her. She was looking all stressed out. Then all of a sudden in the morning, her husband came out in a Tosifi wrap. And I said, wow, it's got to be windy up under there. And part of me said, gush a wind. And he's like scooting because he feels like he's being oogled. Because I'm trying to figure out what's on that knee wrap. So he's hurrying up, He go sit in his car. And I said, only Samoans do stuff like that. He's sitting there, I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden his wife come out and she's like, good morning, America. He changed everything in one night. You know what I'm talking about? She's walking and she has a C in her hair and, she feels safe. And she proceeded on, So I'm thinking, like, are they buying a home? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here? I didn't, someone wanted me to feel confused, so I was confused about it, so I didn't try to intuit what was going on in her life. I was just appreciating the moment, you know what I'm talking about? But the whole point is, she was voluptuous. Usually Samoan women are. I don't see many Samoan women wanting to be thin. That's a statement there. So it's like women come in all shapes and sizes. And depending on your longitude or latitude, what you're going to get. Some men prefer voluptuous women. I haven't seen any Samoan that I know of or Tagalan go against the grain. Now, that don't mean that they haven't explored, you know what I'm talking about? But when they isiki, when they partner up, it's usually for life. So you go on over there and try to bind you one of them Sanukatisuki, seeing what happened. The point is, she had a husband. Okay? A man. A provider. That's the point. I even spoke about this when I was in my training my body era. I said that I want to get small enough where I can wear the Udi shorts. You know what I'm saying? And feel comfortable. So when I got to a size 12, I said, this is perfect. Because I can go into the mall and get everything that I want. And I went and got me some Udi shorts. And I was just prancing around, La 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 la. I trained my body enough to be able to go into any store in the mall and purchase something. That was an achievement for me. But it wasn't for me. Because if it was for me, I wouldn't have to train so hard to look that way. You know what I'm talking about? One thing I noticed, when you place a thin woman next to someone that is thick, and then you place those two next to someone that is voluptuous, and you put on the same type of shorts, it's going to look different, right? Now, on a thin build, it's not offensive when you turn around. And don't act like it's not offensive. Because if you were to see a thick woman in some Udi shorts walking, you would say they are a toot, a street walker. But not a thin one. If you seen a voluptuous woman in some Udi shorts, you were thinking she was getting ready to go to bed. Okay? That's the point. When I was an adolescent, I did not like showing my body. Yes, I am the tomboy era. We dressed in baggy attire. I didn't like showing my body because I didn't like the boys looking at my body. I would cover up. The eras that came after me are not like me. They want to be seen. It made me feel uncomfortable. In my era, we worried about chesters. You know what I'm talking about? Those older dudes that always look at you when you walk. Now it's a thing. You know, people want to film females and women and girls walking. You know, that is like a Chester-ish. They say you're going to get mad. Well, I'm not going to get mad. The whole point of this live is for us to talk about what is being presented on media. That's it, you know? If I could see that actual presentation where Erica accepted that award, because that's what it looked like to me, I would be interested. Because I want to, I want to dissect the approach. It wasn't enough. It was like a second. I'm reading y'all. That's right. You know, the thing about women of my era, most of us did not want to be gawked at by males because how we grew up. I imagine some of it has a lot to do with being raised by my father. You know, there is an era of dudes that can tell if you had your father in your life just by the way you act. I spoke about this before. I said, at one point, after I went through several bouts of ascension, I started encountering dudes that did not like the fact that I had a father. They didn't. They were so used to the ones that were broke down and willing to do anything and everything for their attention that when they encountered me, it was a challenge. You don't need me, you don't want me. Those are the ones that want to pick something that they feel is an imperfection and highlight it on you, like a scar or a bruise, a bald spot, something like that. That is the reason why you, this one, not in the chat, feels like she can't take her wig off in front of any man. I felt like that at one point after I was with my, oh no, husband. I said, I am not ever going to show anyone any imperfection. Because you feel like that is the reason why they left. Because you weren't perfect. Anytime you gotta feel like that, that means they're not for you. Because you should be able to walk around, fart, pick a booger out your nose, burp, and it not be an issue. Because you're human. One guy said, you all feel like everyone that I'm tapped into, I monitor. Some of these are angels and they don't know it. He said, I cannot stand her. Every time we go to eat, she requests a salad. And it ticked him off. It's like, be normal. After you've been with someone that wants to push veganism, you don't want someone that always, every time they eat, they want air. What are you eating? Toxins, so I can stay thin. Erykah Badu is a real vegan. That's for her. It's for her lineage. It's not hard. Imagine that. Not eating meat. She might say she's not a real vegan after she looks at the definition. Because she wears cotton. But it's for her. Vegetarian is right. If she happens to chew on some chicken every now and then, we don't know. We're not gonna know. That's her story and she's sticking to it. You know what I'm talking about? Because who doesn't like a chicken? Like, you mean to tell me you ain't eating no chicken nuggets or nothing? Just think about the sauce. We have all type of sauce: ranch, sweet and sour, barbecue. Now somebody needs to do a Mickey D's challenge. Get about 60 nuggets and use all of their sauces and then present your own sauce. And see what tastes better. I was joking with him. All right. That would be interesting. Like, let's interview 50 guys. Okay? Let's interview 50 guys. You walk up to them. You say, hi, how are you? I just want to ask you a question. Okay? If they don't want to be presented on camera, just black it out. Make sure you get their approval. You say, what do you prefer? Okay. Show them something, a visual. Because sometimes, if they're working, they're busy. Show them a visual. Say, what would you prefer? Don't show the face, just show the body. That's how you get an honest answer. What is your favorite body type here? That could be a series because what comes after is the details. Show them three sizes with no face. Then show them the faces. Then you put variables in like this one is employed, this one is not. This one is a homeowner, this one isn't. You know, make it spicy. They say we know what the rappers prefer. A thin woman with a big behind. We want her to look thin, but not really. Now she feels like she has a chance. In order for you to get fat injections, that means you have to eat. You have to take a chance. That means at some point you get fat somewhere. And they draw that fat out and they shoot it in your behind. And then you can say, mine's is real. Either why do you talk about injections? Because that is the era that we are in. The problem is y'all want to be celebrities. Yes, the Jessica Rabbit look. Somebody say I had that naturally my whole life. The Jessica Rabbit look. And it made me feel uncomfortable. Because I could not go into any store that had juniors and purchase anything. You know what I'm saying? Size 6. 16. 6. Itch. I said I am a size 8. That Udi says you are a size 18. You cannot fool no man from the underworld. You know what I'm talking about? They say, how? Some of y'all were stumped. Wait a minute. Yes, Jocelyn Hernandez. Listen. She's a size 8. But that booty is a size 18. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? What size is Ether's Udi? You want to know, don't ya? I don't have a cup Udi. We talked about this. I would sing it and I would say, that's me. And then I actually seen someone with a cup Udi and I said, no, that's not me. I was a little disappointed, but if you put a cup up there, it would slide off because cup booties mean it goes out and around. Out, you go out at the top, at the beginning of the line, out and around. I bet you E40 know what a cup Udi is. I am not a Udi connoisseur. You know what I'm talking about? Did she have one? Yep, that some one woman had a cup Udi. Yeah, she did. He was regular. I caught him when he was coming out, So I was in, kind of like behind him. And I said, that's interesting. As soon as I said, he's Samoan. I didn't even see his face. Stature, solid, Look like he'd knock you out, you know what I'm saying? telling y'all, y'all know. They know what I'm talking about. These dudes know what I'm talking about. Either why you doing this. Because men make a difference. They make a difference in the world. You know? She knows that you made a difference because she had to adjust her wig. You feel me? Imagine that in the heat of the moment. And you have to take a moment to make sure your wig don't fall off. Because that's not sexy. You know? She said she gonna go get her hair braided because he gonna try it. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all some. I am not interested in your escapades. You know what I'm talking about? I am spoken for. I am not an observer. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? I am not one of them. All right, y'all. I just wanted to talk about that. What do I take from that? She's making a statement to normalize natural bodies. When she does stuff like that, people feel uncomfortable. That's what I believe was happening. Just like the stocking cap on her head in the interview. When women do things like shave off all their hair, that's a statement. Usually the ones that are bold enough to do that are extremely beautiful. You know, there's a belief amongst a lot of cultures that you have to cover your hair because hair is enticing for men. And depending on where you frequent, they decide what genre you are in. If you walk around with a hairpiece, they may say that you are a toot and boot. If you walk around with a bonnet on or a head wrap, they consider you a respectable woman. Imagine that. It's only in the Afro community where you see individuals that feel like bonnets are not appropriate. I told y'all, I once felt that way because I felt that you have to be presentable at all times so people don't think of you in a negative way. However, it's our people that does it, not others. Ours, the black community. I imagine there's some Hispanic woman right now saying, I wish I could just wear a bonnet. There's some Anglo-Saxon woman saying, that is beautiful. Where did she get that from? We are the ones that say, don't do that. People are going to think you're ghetto. When they do it, they get up in the morning, they put on jogging pants that are 3 sizes too big, old nasty piece of Universe sweatshirt, and some flip-flops with a ponytail at the top of their hair. They call it a messy pony. And no one says anything. But let Keisha do it. She's ghetto. Because we feel like we're supposed to be pretty all of the time to be accepted. No one else's man is going to want you unless you have a 27-piece or a 27-inch wig. You have to be able to pull someone else's man in order to survive. That's what I take from it. You are not a celebrity. Let me tell you something. When they wear waist-length wigs, it looks different. It's on TV. Now, if you were to approach someone like a Cardi B on a daily, say she's at Target, you think she's wearing a 27-inch wig? Do you think she gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to put on this Brazilian lace front and go to Target unless she knows someone's going to be there? We're talking about regular women. There was a song that talked about, was it Common? He said in one of his bars that the woman looked beautiful when she was natural in so many words. Imagine that. It's just a presentation. It's just a presentation. Greetings. I want people to go out and feel good. We are in this time of shutdown. It is spreading like wildfire. When you have to choose $300 nails or eat for a month, then you'll think different. That is it.